I find that many entrepreneurs are really scattered in their marketing. They want to tackle too many products and services. They want to offer too many levels of service. Sometimes they're so scattered they're in multiple businesses and they don't realize it. I also find, however, that many entrepreneurs are limiting what they can do. And they're limiting what they can do because they think of the market in limited ways. They have a perception that is often based on limited experience in business, immaturity, or a perception that is reflective of what they see as a consumer, but is not really the reality. For example, I was listening to someone talk about how they were going to build a service that was somewhat of a hospitality service in a particular market. Now, as this person described what they were going to do, what they described was a market that didn't have much money, a market that wanted to take advantage of certain services but didn't know where to go. And they were going to create a service that was going to be the central place to find these services. And this entrepreneur had a particular market in mind. Market meaning a particular demographic, a particular interest level, and a particular geographic level. The challenge is that as I heard this entrepreneur describe what they were doing, they made certain assumptions about this market's capacity to pay. And it made me wonder, well, how are you going to build a business out of this if you are describing this as a market that doesn't have certain services, doesn't have the capacity to pay for certain services? And what I found is the person who had a social entrepreneurship goal and mission, which is noble, which is wonderful, but they didn't have a grasp of the business fundamentals associated with that. So they brought into this market this idea that they immediately were serving a market that couldn't pay them. And I have to tell you that whatever service you offer, if you go into a market with the view that this group can't pay you, you're going to have a hard time building that business. Now, of course, there are markets where the income level is lower. There are markets where you have to offer services that are perhaps more discounted. But that doesn't mean that most of the people will not be able to pay you. And it also doesn't mean that you should approach your business from the standpoint of being fortunate if you get a paying customer. You have to believe, even in a discounted market, that you can get paid, and that you can get paid at the level of the pricing that you set. So the way you go into a market, if you think a particular segment of the market doesn't have money, you think of a particular segment of the market is being negatively impacted by something that's going on in their neighborhood, and therefore they can't be customers. If you think that because of some kind of conditions that these people are barely making it, and you're thinking somehow you're going to create a product or service that is going to thrive in this market, it probably won't. First of all, because your mindset is that you're serving a group that can barely pay you. You have to look at your market, your marketing, your approach, everything from the standpoint that there are people out there who have the ability to pay for my products and services. The question is, how do I present them? How do I convince them? How do I meet their needs? And how do I consistently market myself so that I am the person that they want to do business with? Don't limit yourself in your marketing. Don't think that because you want to serve a particular market that they can't serve you. Don't think that they don't have the money, don't have the resources, don't have the interests. That is the wrong way to enter a market. And if you do that, you'll be limiting your success and you'll be frustrated. You have to go in convinced that irrespective of the marketplace, that you can set your price in a certain way, you can offer a certain kind of service, and that you can appeal to a certain audience, and that your business will thrive as a result. Make sure you don't limit yourself as an entrepreneur, because your revenue, your profit, and your growth will therefore be limited. If you like this tip, give me a thumbs up. Let me know you liked it. Share it with someone in your network. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time.